Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today's video we're going to talk about the latest on my daily driver search. Alright, so still searching for the daily driver. Two cars that are definitely in contention is a 2014 BMW M5 with the competition package or a 2014 Audi S8. I love both of those cars for different reasons. So I'm seeing what comes up. For the BMW M5, I think I only want it in Monte Carlo blue. I love that color. I like the Singapore gray too, actually, if it has black wheels. But most likely, if I got one, I'd go for the Monte Carlo blue. I just love blue cars. Surprise. The Audi S8 really only comes in like silver, gray, black, white. There is a nice like dark blue color, but I don't know if it's available on the 14 because I haven't seen it. I've only seen it on the 2015 models, which are probably out of my price range. So today's dealer experience, I'll do more videos how I buy cars, and I'll do some videos how I collect cars and how I'm able to sell them, and because they appreciate that kind of stuff. But today we'll talk about daily drivers. Remember, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. We'll have a lot of videos of how to buy cars, how to sell cars, how to collect cars, how to sell them for more money, how to buy cars that appreciate. Remember to like this video and share it with your friends. Here's the latest. I just got off the phone with a dealer who actually hung up on me. So I'll get to why that happened in a second. So I'm shopping for one of those cars. It could be an M5 or an S8 or something else. I haven't done videos yet on the other cars I'm considering. And I found one that I liked. It was local. I prefer cars that I could drive to. GLA 45 AMG is for sale. It's a 2015 with only 16,000 miles. It's one owner, me. And even better than Carfax. You have everything from when I bought the car, video of it. That to me, that's even better than a Carfax because you can see a 6-month review of it, a 12-month review, an 18-month review. So we're probably pushing about 2 years with that car, and it's been reliable. The service is up to date. There was one recall with like the steering wheel ground wire, and that was done, so it's all ready to go. I even have a set of snow tires for it with Blizzaks if you want. So email me if you're interested. But otherwise, I prefer to get a car that is local. So this way, if I wanted to trade the car in New Jersey, you get tax savings. So let's just say your trade-in is worth $40,000. Sales tax is actually under 7% in New Jersey. It's like 6.625 or something like that. You would say, let's just use 7% for argument's sake, because it might go back up to that. $40,000 car, you'll save $2,800. So say I was going to sell my car privately for $38,000. If the dealer gives me $35,000, it's essentially the same thing. $35,000, I save $2,800 in tax on the new car, and that essentially gives me $38,000 or close to it. So sometimes it just makes sense to trade it in, because if you advertise it for $38,000, somebody asks, say they'll only give you $36,000 for it. Well, if I trade it for $35,000, I'm getting the $38,000. So I talked to a dealer on the phone. A lot of times with the end, I'm shooting this video as the end of the month is coming, the end of June. So what I'll do sometime a couple of days before the end of the month, dealers a lot of times, I used to work at a dealership when I was a kid. So a lot of times on that final Saturday of the month, and sometimes it's after the month. So if like the 31st occurred on a Friday, sometime the first of the next month is that Saturday. It depends on how your dealership works, but sometime that would still count as the end of the month. And I remember the sales manager a lot of times saying, we have to sell 10 more cars today, and it was a small dealership, that, they lose money in the last couple cars because then they get their VIGs and their bonuses based on, the 50 that they sold. So if they lost money on the last 3, and they're probably not really losing money because they're getting money on financing or wheel and tire insurance and other stuff. But if they lose money on those 3 or 4 or 5 cars, they're getting paid their VIG on 50 cars. So that more than makes up for it. Like my sales manager used to say, you could always hide that. So we got to sell these 5 cars today or 10 cars today, no matter, get the person to agree to buy it no matter what the price is, essentially. Now, you're not going to get a $50,000 car for 40, but if that car was worth, let's say, 52 to 48, you could probably get it for 48 or 47.5 on the last day of the month. So a lot of times, I can figure out what prices are, figure out what the comps, since I've been doing this my whole life, essentially, buying, selling, and trading cars since I was 17. So what I would do is give the lower end of that number. So let's just use that example again. Say an M5 or S8 sells between, or whatever car sells between 48 and 52. So the dealer's going to try to get 52. After it's been on the lot for a bunch of months, maybe they'll try to get 50, and then when they try to get rid of it on the last day of the month, they may do 48 or 47.5. So I'll go to them and say 47.5. And a lot of times, sometimes they won't call me back, but most of the times they do. At the end of the month, they'll be like, hey, especially if you're local, if you come down this afternoon, you have to have certified check, we'll do it, but you got to get here before we close, you got to have the check the whole bit, because they're desperate, they need one of those sales, and they're not really losing money at that 47.5 because they gave that guy 42 on his trade-in. They're just, maybe they had to recondition the car and do a couple things, but believe me, they're not really losing money. So similar situation, I found a car exactly what I wanted. It was missing a couple options, but it had like the must-have options for me. And it was a color I liked or that I was okay with. So I called the dealer, and I always try to do it through email because to me, I'm not wasting the salesman's time if we're just emailing each other. If we're on the phone or I go down there and he thinks he's going to get this and I think I'm going to get that, then we both wasted 2 or 3 hours. Dealerships, a lot of times, they try to keep you there so you give in. If they knew you were a buyer, they could wrap it up in 20 minutes. But if they're trying to wear you down where you're like, oh, I don't want to go through this again in a different BMW dealer, let me just get this over with. I'll pay anything just to get out of here with that car, because otherwise my whole Saturday is wasted, because if I didn't get the car, I got to do this again next Saturday. And that's kind of what they count on. They want you to come down, test drive, fall in love with the car. And that's why, pretty much everybody's giving me the same for my trade-in, all the Audi and BMW dealers, but when you go to a new dealer, they try to lowball you like $3,000 on the trade-in, and then after you talk to them for a while, they'll start coming up and call their manager over, and maybe he knows somebody who will take it and he'll give you $1,000 more, and eventually they get back to that $3,000 more, which is the same as every single dealer's given you so far. They just took an hour to get there. So they're just trying to wear you down. That's a sales tactic, and remember, you could always leave. So this dealer is driving distance, but it's not that close. So I told him, if we're far apart, like they're like, hey, come down, test drive it. I'm like, I've driven these cars before. Of course, I'd want to drive that one because it's a used car, just like you'd want to see my trade in person. This is what everybody's giving me for my trade. That's a fair price. And they agreed that it was, which was amazing. But the rest of the call didn't go well because I threw out the low number, that's what the car's going to sell for. I guarantee it. And they're like, oh, that's ridiculous. And basically the salesperson hung up on me. So now he had priced his car about $8,000 more than any other car on the internet. So basically I told them, I said, look, if you're competitive with every dealership that I've gone to looking at this particular type of car, we'll have a deal. Here's the comps. And they're like, oh, look, and I'm like, well, a 2015 car with the same mileage that's certified pre-owned, because there's a certified pre-owned, that still has a warranty, 4 years, so you still have a bumper to bumper to 2019, and then another year CPO was a 2020. So 2 more warranty than this car has. This car's a 14, so the 4-year warranty is expired. So when you buy it, they're going to get another. You only get 1 year of warranty. So I can get a 15 for cheaper than their 14. Plus, I get an extra year of CPO. So why would I buy their car? So they're like, oh, well, and they'll try to point out maybe some other higher one somewhere else. But like 9 out of 10 of these cars that are listed are all in that price. And I know they don't use Kelley Blue Book, but I just did a search of Kelley Blue Book to see if they're accurate. And pretty much all the prices were similar to Kelley Blue Book. Some a little higher, some actually a little lower. And, they're way off. They're like 8,000 higher than Kelley Blue Book. So I told the guy, I know you don't use Kelley Blue Book because they use galves and all that other stuff. And I said, but this is what that car would go for. And these are what I've talked to these other dealers. I even named the dealers. I've been pointing out the cars on the internet. This is all over the phone so we can look them up. And this is what the car's listed for. And this is what they told me to sell the car for. And it's all realistic. They're making money on all those because you can look up. Used to be able to get a subscription for galves, and I used to do that. And you could actually see what the auction prices are. But you might have a friend that could give you that. So they're still making money on the car. And they're like, well, they had a certified pre-owned it. Well, the only thing they did, and it's not that that's cheap, is put new brake pads and rotors and replace a tire. So, I mean, that's what, $1,000? So there's still $7,000 in more profit than everybody else. And everybody else is probably making a $3,000 profit, so they want to make 10. So I threw out a realistic number, and the guy basically hung up on me. Like, he knows, maybe he doesn't know, that he's $8,000 more than every certified pre-owned car that's exactly like his, the same mileage, the same year. And so I threw out the number that every other dealer gave me, basically the spread between my trade and that car, which was identical at 2 other dealers I went to, and they hung up on me saying that they can't do that. So now they're in a, maybe where they are, they could get that price, maybe. So we'll see. So the end of the month is actually tomorrow. I'm filming this on a Friday. The end of the month is obviously Saturday, so we'll see if they come back to me. You know, they always make it seem like, oh, you really insulted them. If they get back to me, like I always say, throw a counter number out. You know, sometime in real estate, when you're negotiating something, you may throw out a crazy number to start, either party. And, you know, that person is not going to get that number, but it gets you, you know, negotiating. Same thing with, you know, your trade-in value. Say my car's worth 35 for a trade-in. You know, they'll give you 32 to be like, oh my God. And then they're hoping you'll be happy with 33 or 34, and then they're making, you know, at least an extra grand on your car. But we'll see what this dealer does, see if this dealer is realistic or not. Now, I would probably take the car, even if they don't match my counter, even if they come pretty close to it. I'd probably do it because it's a low mileage car. It's pretty much exactly what I'm looking for. And even though, you know, on this channel, and I'll do more videos on this, I'll teach you, you know, especially for sports cars or modern quasi-collectible cars that can go up in value, how to drive them for free, you know, because they're appreciating, and that's going to be more than your expenses. But if you really love a car or want a certain car, like say you want a Miami Blue Porsche, you know, you might have to pay more to get a Miami Blue GT3 or a 911 or 4S or something like that, because there's not many made in that color. And obviously a black or silver one, you know, they'll probably discount, and they know the enthusiast is going to come for the Miami Blue one, and it's going to be harder to get a good deal. So, but if you really love that car and you have your heart set on it, you know, you'll probably pay more for it. Like I can tell you, for a Monte Carlo Blue M5, I'd probably pay extra than a black one just because I want that color. And then once I have it, I'm not going to think that I spent an extra $500 or $1,000 for that car, but I'll be glad every time I have it. So to me, that'd be worth it. You know, when I sell it, I may get a couple dollars for that too. So we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. I will let you know what happened. Dealer just hung up on me, so this is fresh in my mind. And I'll let you know what happens in an upcoming vlog. So remember, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Check out our website, glenscarcollection.com. Follow us on Facebook. We have exclusive videos on both of those. And if you want to see what I'm doing today, or sometime I'll even give you a preview of a YouTube video, like if I'm shooting something, Instagram, @GlensCarCollection. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.